It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. This is the first line from Charles Dickens' novel, A Tale of Two Cities. Mrs. Dalloway said she would buy the flowers herself. This is the first line from Mrs. Dalloway, a novel by Virginia Woolf. All this happened, more or less. This is the first line from Kurt Vonnegut's novel, Slaughterhouse-Five. And when he was nearly 13, my brother Jem got his arm badly broken at the elbow. This is the first line from Harper Lee's novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. Whether or not these are some of our favorite stories, very rarely do we ever remember the first line. What we remember are the main characters, the funny things that they said or did, the way they made us feel, the way we were able to relate to them, the challenges that they faced in their lifetime, and the obstacles that they were able to overcome. Very rarely does all of this take place in the first line of a book. This is my photo from junior kindergarten. I'm 4 years old when this photo was taken. I had what's called a mushroom cut, which my mother promises me was a thing in the early 1990s. After my first day of school, I came home and I told my mom that I wanted to be a teacher, but that I didn't want to teach the age level of the other babies that were in my class. I couldn't believe it. These kids didn't know how to tie their own shoes, and they didn't know how to spell their own name, something that I had perfected before day one. Well, very early on in my life, this does mark one of the chapters in my life story. This is my 7th grade photo. I'm 13 years old here, and quite obviously at the height of my awkward stage. I smiled with teeth, even though I didn't want to, but my mother told me there was no way that she was paying for braces if I kept my lips closed. I also gelled my hair on this day, which wasn't something that I normally did, but we tend to always try a new look out on picture day. During this time in my life, I could be found hanging out with a few of my really close girlfriends and the other boys in my class, playing wall ball at recess and at lunch. I went to a very small elementary school, and some of these kids continue to be the best friends that I have today. Again, this marks another chapter in my life story. This is my 12th grade photo. I'm 17 years old here, and I think the pink highlight in my hair definitely says, "Look how cool I am. I'm the oldest one in the school." I think at second glance it also says, "Please accept me." High school was a time in my life where I have a lot of fond memories to look back on, but it was also a time of struggle for me. 9th grade in particular, I struggled with finding who I was. Coming from a very small school into a larger high school, I got lost in the crowd, and I struggled with bullies. High school remains a time in my life for self-reflection for me. Again, these make up some of the chapters in the story of my life. So, what is it that makes a good story? In between all of these moments that I've shared with you, junior kindergarten, 7th grade, 12th grade, and here I am standing in front of you today at 27 years old, there have been wonderful moments in my life. There have also been many moments of challenge, moments of regret, moments of poor decision-making, moments of heartbreak, moments of greatest accomplishment, and moments of figuring out who it is that I want to be and what I want to do with my life. And despite all of these decisions that I've made, good or bad, they have helped shape the person that I am today. As a counselor, I often have students coming into my office talking to me about the mistakes that they have made, or the pressure they feel that's being put on them to be perfect, or the fear they have of not measuring up. And this is something that really bothers me. And that is why I'm here today to prove to you the exact opposite. I believe our mistakes are actually what fuel us forward. Mistakes give us the opportunity to stop and think, to pause and to reflect and to grow. I believe that mistakes are actually what constitute a good story. As someone who is also undertaking the challenge of writing my own first book, I understand how frustrating and time-consuming the editing process can be. Like many of you in your classes, I wish nothing more than for the first draft to be perfect and to be done. But the truth is that we only continue to get better through editing and revising. So, you're not looking at the girl with the pink highlight in her hair today, but that girl is a part of me, and for that, I'm proud. With the theme of this TEDx conference as leap year, one more day too, I want to remind every single one of you that you are the rule makers. You are the authors of the story of your own lives, and you can take ownership of this. Sometimes in life, we let other people write the chapters in our stories. This can happen when they laugh at us. This can happen when people judge us. Sometimes we let people write these chapters when they tell us we can't do something or that we're not good enough, and so we stop trying or we give up. But the best part about being the authors of our own life story is that we have the opportunity to edit, to rewrite, to reflect, and to revise as many times as we like. There were moments in high school where I said things that I didn't like. There were moments in high school where I did things that I didn't like, or when people treated me poorly. Those were the early chapters. Those were the rough drafts. And to this day, I continue to edit and to revise. I want to leave you with one more final first line. This one from J.D. Salinger's novel, The Catcher in the Rye. In the first line of the book, Holden says, "Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anybody else, these pages must show." This is your opportunity to stop, to think, to grow, and reflect. I want to leave you with one question. If you only had one more day to write these chapters, what would the story of your life say? Thank you.